Fimbo ya Nyayo yatuongoza kwenda wapi? Fimbo ya Nyayo, fimbo ya Nyayo yatuongoza kwenda mbele.
Yes, now the country is rather on a sad mood, just in regard and respect to the death of the second president of the Republic of Kenya, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. The death that occurred on Tuesday, 5:30 a.m. in Nairobi Hospital. The death was announced by the head of state, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who was on a state function in the United States, and he said that the country should mourn for the second president who has had a lot of impact as far as the politics of the country are concerned. And many have said many things about the second president, and of course many terming him as a person who had stringent rules as far as his leadership was concerned, and also many on the other side saying that Moi had a significant impact in transforming the lives of many Kenyans, and is known so much for his philosophy of embracing the spirit of national unity and castigating the spirit of leaders whose speeches end up in balkanizing people. And of course, many times him as a person who had a lot of respect to the women and also had a lot of respect to religion, bearing in fact that every Sunday Moi was on a church function in different parts of the country. And many remember Moi as a person who embraced a lot of love, especially in schools, many terming him as a leader who was dedicated to ensure that education was given priority and supplied the famous Nyayo milk. And many people have a lot of things to say about Daniel Arap Moi. And of course, I'm joined by one of the people who have memories about the former president. Of course, maybe perhaps you may start by telling us your name, and when you hear about President Moi, what comes into your mind?
Well, my name is Helen Nadi.
Yes.
I am a student, and the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear about the late Daniel Moi is that Maziwa ya Nyayo, of course. That is the first thing that comes to mind, because I can remember the ages of my mother that they used to enjoy, they used to look forward to getting the free milk.
Yes.
Yes.
The people say that Moi was very strict in his rules and he was a dictator. For you, is that a yes or is it a no? And why?
Well, for me, I would not really like to comment on that, but what I would say is that we all have different ways of leading, and probably his way may not really have been the best to many people, but what can you say?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, that is one of the Moi's, sycophants trying to share insights about what the former head of state had to say about the late president. And of course, I'm joined also by another gentleman who is a very good insider and perhaps who comes to the region that where Moi comes from. For a start, maybe you start telling us your name and what comes into your mind, or what do you remember Moi for?
My name is Kiprotich Arap Toi. I'm from Nandi. Basically, if you heard about Moi, you just realize there are many places named after him. Moi's Bridge, Moi School Vokoli, Moi Girls Eldoret, Moi Girls everywhere. So Moi was one person who loved education. That's why even he was the one who was in charge of 8044 system, introduced that. Nyayo, that means he loved education. That's what I remember most about Moi. Kabarak University is just courtesy of him. Kabarak High School, Sacho Girls, such things. So Moi is someone who had a purpose for education and he strived for excellence. He was the first person to be elected in Rift Valley to represent the Legislative Council. So he has done big concerning education. Another thing you can remember Moi about, he has mentored many, like Dr. William Samoei Ruto. He was someone who just was there, but because of Moi, he has come and rise. Now he's the deputy president. We have the legs of his son, Gideon Moi, who became the member of parliament after his father, and then after a while he was drawn, but he came back with another energy and became the Senate of Baringo. So you can see this guy has an impact. He had a mixed reaction because Moi was one person who kept his friends very close and his enemies more closer, but at the same time very far. You need to know his step because he was having some people like Barngetunya here, Jonjo here, JJ Kamotho, you see. somebody he had links. He had some good cabinet. He was well organized, like Nicholas B. Watt. He was regarded as the total man who gave him links on how to tackle some issues. So Moi is a good gentleman, but you know, after the coup, it changed many perspectives according to Moi, because he had now that fear. That's why he even reshuffled the cabinet. Anytime you could hear this time is Bangetonyo is the head of education, a little bit Saitoti. That's why you see even in his tenure, according to the vice presidents, he did not stick with one vice president. He usually used to change, because he's somebody who did not believe people because of that. But if you ask people who were there during the Moi era, the first terms of Moi, it was very nice. Very nice. But after the coup, it's when it changed Moi perspective.
And perhaps what is your opinion on the people who said that Moi was a dictator, that his rules, he was very strict, he embraced that his view was the one that was to be followed?
You know, personally, I don't see Moi as a dictator, but let's say that he had that thing, let's say, authoritative person, because he also had wanted a country that is united. He did not want many political parties, because he knew that when a country is in a multi-party state, it will bring rise to things like KANU, which represent, let's say, Kikuyu, KADU representing the Luya. Like the way, for example, that we have, you'll see people saying Jubilees for the Kikuyus and the Kalenjins. NAK is for the people, long time for Nyeri. You see, it is very, ODM is for the Luos. It's like that. So Moi was someone not a dictator, but he knew the reason why he did not want, let's say, multi-party state. You see, that's the main reason why people will say he's a dictator while he was not a dictator.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, what's history from the people who remember Moi in different styles? And clearly you have heard from them that Moi was a person who, you know, had love for education, and a person who embraced a lot of national unity, bearing in mind that he is the one who was responsible for the 844 system. And of course, we have heard that His Excellency, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior Security, that Dr. Fred Matiang'i, announcing that Tuesday will be a public holiday just in honor and in regard to the former head of state. And of course, the burial will be on Wednesday on Kabarak grounds, where he will be accorded a state funeral as one of the 5th person to be accorded a state funeral. So that is what we have on ground, and of course tributes will keep on coming as far as the Moi regime is concerned. And many people utilize Moi as a leader who was very dedicated, who was very, you know, partners in ensuring that the common people on ground have what it takes. And of course, many will have the opinions that Moi was a dictator, but we leave to the people to decide what kind of a person he was, and truly his mark will be felt in the country. So that is what we have in the ground so far. Many information will be updating you as far as you know, the Moi's burial is concerned. Remember that his body will be laid in Parliament on Tuesday for the members of public to be accorded the chance to view the Moi's body before his funeral on Wednesday. Back to you.